welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast providing commentary on the latest in film, TV, games, and comics. My name is Todd Stoll, and I'm joined by 25-year veteran reporter covering pop culture, video games, and technology for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski.
Yeah, you're looking a little faint.
Yeah. It's been a long week, man. Long week. It's been.
I've lost my intro again.
I've been playing.
I've been staring at your TV.
I've been playing so much.
Looking at your really cool character.
Destiny. I'm starting to get to the point where
you're loopy.
Yeah, my head hurts a little bit.
Or you're thinking in terms of Destiny now. So when you go out in your front lawn, you're looking for groups of enemies.
No, there's a couple areas where I complete the task and then nothing. Like it doesn't. Like there's nothing to do.
Okay, we're totally shifting now. So we're talking about you playing the new expansion to Destiny 2, Forsaken.
Yeah, I'm just talking in general.
Right.
I'm having this problem where I will complete missions and then there's no action item to continue.
I'm going to play this game this week, but their headquarters was destroyed, right? So you're now out in like a jungle area.
No. Not for me.
Really?
No.
What game was that then?
No. I mean, so if you remember, there's the Visitor.
Yeah.
Right? Who is like the ultimate power source. Yeah. And he powers...
But wait a minute. That got all destroyed.
Right. It did. Right? And then if you remember in the beginnings of Destiny 2,
yeah,
you're supposed to, you have this ghost with you.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go back and try to like restart the power.
Yeah.
And apparently this thing isn't dead after all, it's just hiding.
Right.
Right? So it took place on Earth and then on Titan.
But you're in a jungle somewhere where you have all the areas where you can
on Earth you're in
buy new stuff.
Yeah, you're on Earth. You're in an area. There's also sort of this like weird home base area that everybody just sort of hangs out and jumps around because there's nothing else to do except buy stuff and up your player.
Right.
So I don't really know what I got.
So what's new?
So I don't really know what I got coming into it from the upgrade to the expansion. I'm still trying to figure that out. I do have much better weapons, and this place to go to get stuff. There's a lot of people giving away free things,
like a Walmart.
No,
Sam's Club.
Just like it's they refer to you as like one of the resistance, and you're sort of like the guy that everyone knows, and so they're giving you stuff. So between that and buying some things and handing in other weapons to have them upgraded, I've upgraded pretty quickly, but I still feel like I'm playing in the same missions. I'm continuing the same missions that I were before. With the expansion, I didn't see anything new unlock, like a new world to go to start there. Like I still have a ton to do to even get through Titan, and I don't know if any of that is new.
Okay.
It's hard to say. So, I mean, I know that the description says that there are new worlds, there's new enemies, there's definitely like new baddies that I haven't seen before in the areas that I've been in before.
Like?
There's like this giant, enormous looking like machine beetle that gets dropped on this elevated cargo area on Titan, and you have to wipe it out while wiping out all of the normal fallen that are coming at you and shooting things at you.
Okay.
And there's sometimes 2 or 3 of these giant beetle things, and they take a lot to kill.
I feel like your 103 is really lame.
It is really lame.
If I remember correctly, when I last looked at mine, I was like in a purple thing or some kind.
I feel
like way up there.
I feel like I may have lost some stuff because I really do feel like I was a lot higher than this.
Is it possible the game completely restarted you, or were you?
No.
You had a bunch of stuff when you turned on the game.
And it was still there.
Okay.
But I was, it also says I'm only a level 8, and I know I was a level 12.
Okay.
So who knows? It could just be lack of playing it. Maybe I got downgraded somehow. I don't know.
No.
But at any rate, It's still beautiful.
Right.
It's the weapons that you do get, the new sort of higher class weapons that are being introduced are a lot of fun. The one that I have right now is, because I'm a sniper, it's a great sort of semi-automatic, but its secondary function is to fire grenades that shoot lightning bolts within a radius and
That's
just take everyone
pretty
out.
cool.
That's pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. I still enjoy running up and stabbing people. That's fun. It usually works a lot.
Well, don't we all?
But it usually works a lot better than actually shooting them.
Right.
That's what I found. There's one guy that I saw who has a jetpack and is able to just sort of fly around at will.
Yeah.
I'd really like to get a hold of that. That looks very fun. But I need more time on the game to really see what's new.
All right. Well,
And I know I got an alert today that they have a hot fix coming out. I've noticed the transitions between worlds is really slow.
okay.
And the initial boot up is painfully slow trying to connect to their servers.
Okay.
So I suspect they're probably having some problems, and it's possible that maybe not everything is open.
Got it.
That's what I mean.
Makes
I
sense.
know it's available,
Right.
but I'm not sure. I mean, everything that was there, but I didn't see any new worlds.
And it's mildly unfortunate that this expansion came out at the same time that one of the best games of the year released also. It's but it's an exclusive to PlayStation 4, unlike Destiny.
So, in which game are you talking about?
Spider-Man.
So why
Spider-Man.
So my first question would be, why just a PlayStation? Just the haptics
well,
of it, or
the development company, Insomniac Games, the guys who did Spyro the Dragon and Ratchet and Clank, are interconnected with Sony Interactive Entertainment. I mean, that's like their sub-brand, one of their sub-development houses. So they basically own Insomniac Games, I think. You know what I mean?
It's just like, it just seems like there's a lot of money being left on the table.
There probably is.
I know they've got the new PS4 Spider-Man bundle.
But this gives lots of reason to buy a PS4 again.
Really?
Yeah, it's that cool.
For one game?
I don't know. It's pretty great. I mean, you want to talk about this now, or you want to finish off that stunning review of Destiny 2 Forsaken? Well, there's stuff, but I can't find any of it.
Well, to close it out, I think the best thing to say is we have it. We're working on it. You're going to get into it.
Yeah.
We're going to compare notes. We're going to try out the multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
We've got headsets. We're going to connect. Yep. We're going to do all that good stuff and see if maybe we're missing something because it's inside this multiplayer area, which it could be.
Right.
There's a lot of emphasis on that. But, I mean, it's a great game. Like, I love Destiny. Like, it's beautiful.
It is, and it's always busy as far as I'm concerned. And every time I drop on stuff, there's something going on. And they have those little skirmish areas where an enemy fleet drops something, and then all the players band together and jump around to try and destroy whatever's going on.
And that's a little bit what happened on Titan.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It's like, it's not gruesome at all. There's no real blood. It's just you're stabbing and shooting people.
It's
what I would consider like a PG.
Prettier than Fortnite. And if I don't know if you know anything about Fortnite.
Oh, but I know about Fortnite?
Oh, no. Your kids are in it?
They don't. No, I won't let them play it.
Okay, good.
No, I think it's like a massive security hole for like little kids because you can chat with people.
Yeah.
And like they have no capacity to turn that off based on your age. It's the same problem I have with Roblox, which is like this other game that is like hugely popular. Is that you have to be the parent, take over the account, and then turn everything off because it's not off by default.
Right.
But Destiny, in my opinion, is like a PG-13 game.
Yeah.
It's pretty appropriate. Yes, you're shooting a lot of things, but there's no like there's no blood.
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of a shooter game.
You're beating aliens.
And it's a lot of fun. It's like crazy fun. I mean, I literally today alone blew like 3 hours playing it, and then yesterday I played another like 3.5.
Right.
So
time flies.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So, but we'll have to talk more about it when you're into it too. Maybe
this week.
You're leveled up more than I am.
I think I am.
Yeah.
I forgot
because you played a lot more than I did.
I did. I needed to.
So, segueing back to Spider-Man.
So, it's one of the first free-roaming New York City Spider-Man games since like 2007, 2004, something of it.
How free-roaming can you go?
You can free roam around the entire New York City area. You can go up through Harlem. You go Greenwich Village.
Mm-hmm.
You can go Midtown, Financial District, everywhere around New York City you'd want to go.
Is it realistic New York City?
And it's realistic New York City. There's I don't think it's hyper realistic. I think one reviewer said he actually found his apartment there. But what's cool about it is it's pretty realistic, and it also has Marvel Comics locations in it, like the Avengers headquarters. You can hang out by the Wakanda Embassy, and Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, which is totally cool in Greenwich Village.
Can you go into it?
You can't go into it. You can hang out on the So the best part of the game is you're swinging with two buttons for the most part, and you're all over the place. It is gorgeous. The problem I had early on with the game was you unlock surveillance towers, and then you get police chatter, and you can start thwarting muggings and kidnappings and all this kind of stuff and drug deals. And if you're only at like level 1 or 2 or 3, you're going to get your butt kicked, and you're going to get it kicked hard because you don't have a lot of skill level points. Even though you're an experienced Spider-Man, if you go into Central Park to stop a mugging, and there's 10 guys mugging a woman. 10 guys are mugging a woman. So I walk into that, and you're in trouble. And these guys are packing heat.
Oh, jeez.
So now once you hit about level 10, it's bazilli because you're shooting webs at these guys, you're grabbing them with the webbing, spinning them around, you're yanking weapons from these guys with your webs, you're punching them, you're kicking them, you're sticking them to the ground, you're suspending them in the air, you're doing all this great stuff that you would expect Spider-Man to do, and that's when the game starts really getting stunning. There was this moment, like I was at level 6, and I basically, the story mission I had to fight 6 waves of the Kingpin's henchmen on this construction site. I couldn't do it. So instead, I spent 3 hours searching around the city for little collectibles and stuff so that I could keep leveling up and leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. And then once I got to about level 10, like I said, I went back in there and just kicked butt. Took them all out.
So if you take the guns away, can you use the guns?
You cannot use the guns. You're Spider-Man. He doesn't use guns.
Sometimes you never know.
But there's a really nice story in it involving, Peter breaking up with Mary Jane, and then I think they get back together. I'm not saying anything on that level. Peter works as a research lab tech, and you can do little puzzles to solve, like spectrographs and all that kind of stuff. So that's nice, busy work. They can keep you going. So it's not all, combat. You could spend lots of time in this game just doing nothing or minimal, just flying around the city, swinging around the city, and it just looks great. It reacts great. And there's very few games like this that are just so you put your hands on the controller and you're doing something.
Do you find it hard to swing from building to building?
No.
So it's easy?
In the old days, like the Activision 2004 game, I was not very good at swinging around. This game is a piece of cake. And there's hot spots on all the buildings. So you can literally like web blast right over to the building, then bounce off the building and swing some more, and then hit another web blast area and just keep going.
Are you like flipping upside down?
Oh, yeah, you're doing tricks the whole time.
Do you get points for that?
You get some points for that. At some point, they're going to shoot rockets at you. You got to avoid rockets coming at you and stuff like that. It's really the whole package.
So can you ride on the top of a taxi cab?
There are chases going on in the city where you have to chase down a vehicle with criminals in it. You have to fight the criminals as they're driving and poking their heads out the side, shooting guns at you. So you have to duck, you have to grab them, you have to web them, you have to throw them off the car.
Jeez.
There's
the hand-eye coordination's got to be ridiculous.
Car accident saving, where you go into an area where there's a car accident, you take pizza to the doors off, and you rescue people, and there's explosions you have to stop before they happen. You got to get the guy out of the car before the car blows up.
So if somebody dies, do you fail?
You fail.
And do you have to do it over again?
Well, like it's an optional mission. So you don't have to do it over again.
It just says you
fail and you keep going. The only ones you got to go over are the story missions, which is normal, right?
Right.
Here's an example of a side mission, which is not one of those little missions. There's a castle in Central Park, Belvedere Castle. Mm-hmm. You have to you go there and you find out that Kingpin's men are like hacking New Yorkers and trying to steal their passcodes. So you have to take a flash drive out of a computer in the Belvedere Castle, but a pigeon gets to it first. You have to chase pigeons around the city, catch the right pigeon.
Oh, man.
Once you catch the pigeon, you find out that this hacking is going on, and you have to go like 3 or 4 different hacking stations around the city, beat up a bunch of guys again, and there's a girl named Stephanie trying to help you a civilian. Once you're all done with that, you got to go and save Stephanie from Kingpin's men who are coming after her again. It's an extended, long-term mission. It's fun, but the pigeon thing's crazy.
So this sounds, because of the free roaming, it sounds a lot like Grand Theft Auto, and that you can do missions. You can just drive around and have fun.
There's just not a ton of that talking, communication stuff. You know, you don't have to worry about it. It's a cut scene.
Right.
You don't have to walk up to a specific character and talk to him all the time.
Can you go into the subway?
I haven't gotten there yet.
But I'm assuming you can.
Maybe you can. Yeah.
So how realistic is that? I mean, you go down to Ground Zero. Is it?
It's the new. Well, I climbed up the. What's the new?
The One World Trade Center.
Yeah. Got to the top. Stunning. Because you look around at everything going on. It's got a very Assassin's Creed feel about it.
Can you go to Liberty Island?
I don't think you can leave.
Lower Manhattan?
Yet. I'm still looking. This game, I'm about 13 or 14 hours into the game. The game's about, if you just do the story, they're saying the game's about 20 hours, but if you do all the side missions, which I really worked hard the first 7, 8, 9 hours, you can do like probably 30, 40 hours in this game.
I'm going to have you, I'm going to give you directions to a building. I want you to see if it's there.
That would be cool, because I will look.
If it's there, that'd be great.
Yeah. Lot of extra characters in this game. A lot of extra costumes you can unlock. Each costume has its own power attributes.
Are you using the Stark costume from Avengers?
That is available.
It is.
But there's a new costume that was designed by a comic book artist named Eddie Grenov, and that is one of your key costumes in the game, and it's beautiful. It's kind of like a blue and red leather suit with like a white spider, big spider on a chest and back. It's really cool. If I'm gushing about this game, it's because it's really that good. And it really is that good. Very frustrated with the combat early on, so take a deep breath. Go unlock things. Go play missions you know you can beat. Take some time, level up, unlock some cool skills, and you're good. At some point, you're going to be able to use like those little web tracers you put on somebody, and I think there's some explosive things you can use.
Yeah, there's the web darts, right?
Yeah,
that the Peter Parker uses in Avengers.
So I can't say enough about how great these guys did this. I mean, it's...
So how much time have you put into it?
I told you, I'm about 14 hours.
14 hours.
And I'm going to go meet the Shocker soon. There's some really cool... There is a Sinister Six subplot in this that has all the main, like, Rhino, Scorpion. I think there's... I'm not spoiling anything because there's a giant video out here that Sony put out, but there's a prison break going on, and a lot of bad guys escape. The combat reminded me of a little bit of Batman Arkham Asylum. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good defense movements and definitely some great beating up techniques you can use.
So how many times can you get shot or hit before you're down?
It's bad. If you get shot, you're done pretty
really?
Quickly. Oh yeah, you can. I think early on I would only be able to take a few bullets, which was so frustrating because you're always shooting webbing because you're trying to stop the guys that are shooting at you. So you want to shoot webs at them and mess them up and then grab them and throw them around.
So I wonder if at any point Tony Stark will make a presence.
I don't know. I know Black Cat shows up, which is a definitely cool character to have. Aunt May shows up. Characters like that, but I don't know if Tony Stark ever shows up.
Who's voicing Peter Parker?
I have no idea who the guy is.
So it's not...
it's not, no.
Tom?
No.
Okay.
But anyway, it's really cool. So,
it's a beautiful
and that's
photo.
Pretty much what it looks like when you're swinging.
Is it always daytime?
No. There's nighttime. There's some rain. There's all, it's, weather effects.
Is it harder when there's weather? Like, can you slip?
That I don't know yet.
Okay.
But the nighttime is obviously, looking at New York City at night is gorgeous.
Right.
And the city isn't like one of those cheap cities where there's a couple of guys and a car driving by occasionally. There's a lot going on. When you get on the street, people are yapping at you all the time. They either love you or they hate you. So it's pretty cool. He's got a Twitter account, so there's all this little chatter going on the side of the screen when you want about people leaving tweets, and I don't think it's called Twitter. There's tweets going on, and J. Jonah Jameson has a podcast, and he just starts ranking on them all the time. He's retired from the Daily Bugle, so he's got nothing to do. It's a great game. Too bad you won't be able to play it because you own an Xbox One, but
yeah, I can't.
Because your kids would really like it.
Nope.
So I guess the kids are gonna have to get it for Christmas.
Nope. Just like they won't be playing Fortnite either.
Yeah, I would not get your kids involved in Fortnite.
Everybody's on it.
I know.
I don't understand it. I really don't. Like
it's just like Destiny, really.
I know.
It's just simpler.
I understand the game, but the thing is in Destiny, you don't have to interact with anyone.
That's right. You can
Fortnite,
do your own stuff.
You can't turn that off. They're
That's
talking
right.
to you. They can talk to you.
And isn't the objective of Destiny is you're basically in a firefight against a bunch of players, and there's only the guy who survives, the last guy left, gets all the goodies.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So, yeah, you have to interact.
And if you join on the lower level, like level 1, level 2, and you go against other people, you don't stand a chance.
Right.
You just don't. But I don't know. I don't know how these guys can get away with it. They ask you for your age. And
did you just yawn?
I did.
Okay, that's great.
Thanks, man. I'm tired. I didn't have my nap today. And plus, we had like a foot of rain, so it's pretty.
That's right. And you got to go out there and what?
Huh?
You got to go out there, a vacuum and clean it up, or what?
No, it's just whenever the weather turns like this, it's exhausting.
It was nasty.
Yeah, it's gross. All right, we're gonna come back.
Why? Didn't we already do 40 minutes?
You've got.
I'll bring it up for a few minutes, but don't push me.
Okay.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
It was after Terminator.
It was?
So Arnold had already become kind of a star. We're talking about Predator that came out on 4K, and I finally got a chance to watch it. It's, it's still grainy, but it's very clean. It's much cleaner than the other cut that they had, which they killed because they had all this digital noise reduction to the point that it just made it look plastic.
Well,
so it looks good.
And the movie's got Jesse Ventura in it.
Yeah.
Who's that other guy who's in it?
Jesse, I don't have time to bleed.
Yeah.
Ventura.
It's like, hey man, you're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed.
Carl Weathers,
who's
great in it.
Oh, that movie's so good.
It is good.
And then, what did you think of Aliens versus Predator?
Those were terrible.
Right.
They were terrible.
There were how many of them?
Oh man, I don't know.
Two or three.
2 or
3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when's Predator coming out again? The new one?
Soon.
Okay.
There's a big brouhaha over it. Have you seen this?
Well, how many more scenes are they going to have to cut? Depends how many child molesters they've hired, or
dude. And then
it wasn't a child molester though, right?
He was a sexual predator.
Okay.
I think he was on a registry, but nobody's mentioned anything. So, in case you've been living under a rock, Olivia Munn, who is in the film, lobbied both the director and the studio to cut a scene because the director, Shane Black, had apparently cast a friend of his who just happened to be a sexual predator, and she wanted that scene removed and has since felt that her other castmates have, including Shane Black, have essentially stopped talking to her.
They've shunned her?
They've shunned her as a result. And
boo frickety who.
I mean, I don't.
So Shane's a moron.
Kind of.
But.
Kind of. I mean, and the studio was like, well, what I thought was really weird out of it was the studio said that they don't do extensive background checks on people. They don't have the resources to do that.
It makes sense.
I mean, I guess technically they're all subcontractors, right?
So if you have a scene in a movie with 40 extras, are you saying you're supposed to background check 40 extras?
I don't think this guy was an extra, though.
He had a speaking role?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But I'm saying, take it to the next level. Where do you stop that?
I mean, I don't know, man. You and I had to do a background check.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard.
No.
It just costs money. But in grand scheme of thing, when you're talking about a $45 to $75 million budget film.
Right. You can throw an extra $100,000 at background checks.
You could throw a couple $1,000s to a background check. Wouldn't be that bad. So, well, that's interesting. I'd like to see the 4K. I haven't seen that. I just watched The Evil Dead, the original in 4K, which looked beautiful. Still a little bit of grain, but I thought it was pretty decent. It looked nice. There were definitely places in the original that were really dark and you didn't really know what was going on that were brightened up a bit. You could kind of see a little bit more detail, which was nice. And then you said that DC is coming out with, is it DC? The Monster Works?
Oh, Universal.
Universal
Studios is releasing all of their classic black and white horror films, most of them, on Blu-ray.
That's nice.
So that'll be a really nice collection. I'll talk about it when I get it. That'll be very cool.
And then speaking of
horror,
sort of scary and horror films,
a movie you've never heard of?
I've never. When did this movie come out?
I'm gonna butcher this. So first, I'm giving you 2 minutes on this. It came out in January.
Okay, and
perfect time to release a horror film. No, wait, I'm sorry, June 8th in the United States. It was at Sundance in January.
And it's called
Hereditary, right? Hereditary, and it stars Toni Collette or Collette?
Collette.
Toni Collette as a mother dealing with the death of her mother and then dealing with the death of another family member. And she runs into a support group woman who shows her how cool it would be to have a seance and bring these folks back to talk to. And the woman is played by Dowd. And this woman, anytime this actress is on the screen, you're going to have a problem because she was in The Leftovers, and she played a really weird character. And she was in Handmaid's Tale, and she plays a really weird character. And she once again, I'm not going to spoil anything. She's weird, okay? And what you have to figure out as this film evolves and it starts affecting her family is this woman nuts, or is there something really going on here, and is she actually bringing back the dead?
Okay, so did you know about this movie when it came out?
No.
Okay, so I'm not in the dark here at all.
It just showed up, and there was a chance for me to get it and look at it, and I got to tell you, it's easily one of the better horror films I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know
why?
Good. It's A24, man. Those guys, the production company, A24, they're putting out a lot of good stuff.
These guys did a great job. It was a first-time director too, and there is this, and I am just saying this with the utmost sensitivity. There's an actress in this movie that plays the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She's just weird looking. She's weird looking. She's a normal girl, but she's got an odd look about her. And she fits perfectly in with this movie, and she's creepy. But I'm sure she's a delightful person. She was on Broadway as Matilda. So that's probably more than you need to know. And Gabriel Byrne's in this. And Gabriel Byrne is awesome in stuff. So Great cast. I don't want to give away what happens in this movie, but I am telling you, it is really good, and it really heats up at about 20 minutes left. You watch this thing unravel, and you can see it's not going to be good, and it just keeps going downhill. It's great. It is really fun.
So how many Galifianakis heads do you give it? 0?
0 is good, right?
0 is good.
Yes, I give it a 0.
Okay.
For the horror genre, you will love this movie. Turn off the lights. Turn up the sound.
So, are you excited for Halloween?
I think I am.
I think I am too.
Yeah. The guys are doing it. Blumhouse know how to make a horror movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis knows the role.
And I love the look that they gave her.
Yeah.
Like
perfect.
You think she... So Michael Myers is going to go on a tear, and she's going to be like No Country for Old Men, and she's going to be like hunting him down. I mean, how awesome is that going to be?
Great.
With extensive weapons training.
Right. It's almost a video game.
I'm excited for it. Before we go...
Any more Ghostbusters news? Hey, I haven't heard anything about Ghostbusters. That's pretty impressive. What about you? Anything?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
Nothing. You know what's strange, though? I went back and watched the second movie, and I probably haven't seen it in easily 10 years.
And now you like it.
I kind of like it.
Oh, no. Is it because your palate has been destroyed from the new reboot? So you're going back and going, that's not bad.
You know, the funny thing is there was another guy, like a really well-known critic who at the time was harsh with it, but basically came back and said... The only problem I had with it is it lifted too much from the first film, but as a companion, it's pretty good.
Right.
And I was like, man, this was. I mean, granted, the jokes are still not there, but it was not bad. And I guess maybe because I'm older, watching it as a kid, I was just sort of like, oh, Ghostbusters. But
right.
It held up. But what I did want to talk about, because we posted this on Facebook and it kind of took off like crazy. I want to talk about this problem with First Man coming out, the Neil Armstrong a movie with...
Did it come out already?
No, it's coming out with Ryan Gosling. It comes out in October.
Oh.
And the issue is that they are not showing the scene of them planting the American flag on the moon. They're completely ignoring that, saying... It doesn't need to be there. This was not a U.S. thing. This was a worldwide thing.
But the spacesuits are correct, right?
Everything
they have American flag on the
Everything is correct
suits.
with the exception of they do not show them planting a flag.
Right.
And the director and Neil Armstrong's family and everyone who's involved with it have essentially said, we just felt like this moment was bigger than just the United States.
Right.
Buzz Aldrin is basically like, screw you guys, this is nonsense.
So what about Yeager?
You should have shown
Yeager, too, was complaining.
Probably. I mean, Michael Collins was the third guy, and he's dead, and I don't know what his family has said.
Was he complaining, too?
Well, he's
via
dead.
seance?
I doubt it.
Okay.
So, I don't really care.
Through Toni Collette, he said he was having a problem with it.
I don't really care that much. It's a biopic of the guy, not like the event, so...
But that is the event.
I mean, not planting the flag.
Part of the event.
It is. I mean, I see it both ways, but like, you're gonna boycott a movie because
you're the space guy.
Yeah.
How soon into the walk does he plant the flag?
It's a while.
It is a while.
They both are on the moon by that point, and they're jumping around and they're doing their other things, and eventually they plant it. But it's a good hour into it.
And they're not in the Tang Mobile.
No.
Okay, that's later on.
That's later on. Okay. That's later missions where they
drive
around.
You like that, Paul?
Yeah. I mean, it's good,
That was awesome. I used to buy that bottle of Tang, and that damn thing was on top.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're kidding.
No.
Okay, you go to the store,
yeah,
and when you buy a bottle of Tang during that mission...
Oh, they had the capsule?
They had the space rover, the thing that you drove around with.
Really?
You use a rubber band, and that thing, you'd wind it up, and it'd just go around the room.
Oh, that's cool.
I might be out of my mind saying this, but I swear to God, I had one of those, and my mom got me a bottle of Tang.
So they're predicting Oscar buzz for this in a big way. It's the same guy who did La La Land.
Oh, brother. Okay,
but
I won't hold that against him.
It apparently crushed it at the Toronto Film Festival, and that's usually a pretty good. But again, like, do you care? Would you not go to a movie because that was omitted? Because that's the big thing. People are like, it's not American.
Right.
You know, they're desecrating America. They're desecrating the flag.
They're not kneeling when they get off.
No.
Okay. There's no kneeling going on as soon as they get off.
They're not doing like white power.
Okay, none of that stuff.
They just cut the film away from that.
Got it.
They just don't put it in.
I don't know how I feel. I'm slightly upset by it, but
would you not go see the movie as a result if it was a good movie?
I'm very interested in that time and the competition that was going on and the space event itself. So, yeah, I'd probably see the movie.
I mean, I know what happens to him leading up to it. I mean, he's almost killed twice.
Right.
And so, like, I know all that stuff. I'm curious to see how they do it.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe when it gets to that point, you're not even thinking about it. You know, it could be just how it's cut. But all I know is we posted this thing because we were putting the trailer out there, and it went crazy.
And basically, it's a biopic
of Neil Armstrong.
So that piece of the biopic is small in comparison to the entire movie.
That is correct.
Okay, so you're basically showing him getting to his ultimate goal.
And according to the director and to the family of Neil Armstrong, they didn't want this to seem like a propaganda film.
Right.
And so they decided to leave that out.
Right. Well, it is or it isn't. Right.
I mean, the guy was a weird guy.
Yeah.
He just was. And I don't think for him that was the purpose.
I did get to see him when they did the Kitty Hawk Centennial.
Oh, I saw him at a couple times. So
and I don't think I talked to him, but he
was a very quiet, very sort of
unlike Buzz Aldrin.
I don't want to say eccentric, but Asperger-ish, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like he just very smart, very intelligent, very driven, didn't really believe that he should have the celebrity and wanted to hide from it.
Okay.
And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I mean, then again, you're the first to do it, so you kind of can't hide from that.
Yeah.
But
okay, I get it.
Whatever. All right.
That was good. That was an action-packed episode.
Jam-packed. We're gonna jump to some polka here.
Great. Keep swinging, man.
Check us out on Facebook. Check us out online, ZadzooksHappyHour.com.
Yes. That
iTunes.
websuit. See, I'm so stuck in Spider-Man. That website is rocking. Thank you.
It is. We're putting
good job.
We're putting trailers up, and the last bit, real quick, because I know everyone's excited about it. Die Hard 6 will now be called McClane.
Oh, good.
The prequel sequel, and it's probably his last. So, get in it, enjoy the absurdity of it, and get out.
Right.
See ya.
See ya.